just say this real quick. I want to address something just briefly. For those that are out there that are really under the belief that Davis Mills has a chance to take over the starter's role, you're delusional. What's up, family? Texans Fan and Rehab here. Hey, we're back for another Texans Weekly Recap, and we cover all things Texans related. Hey, we're just gonna be real quick this week. I'm not even gonna lie to you; it's not a whole lot of content to cover, but we will get right on into it, man. First and foremost, if you like my content, hey, give me a like, give me a share, give me a follow. Hey, man, I really appreciate everything that you guys might be able to do to help me grow the page, man, and get my name out there, man. So first and foremost, let's jump right into it, man. This week we had the originally cryptic message that the Texans had posted up on Twitter. We finally got some context into the situation, and we got a reveal of what was going on with that, man. Of course, it's J.J. Watt. He's coming back. He's going to have his Ring of Honor ceremony in October. Hey, it's going to be just in time for us to be able to play the Pittsburgh Steelers and have his his brother's team in town so that we can, have the whole family there, have a whole, family reunion. J.J. Watt, mom, dad, brothers, going to be in attendance, and so it's going to be pretty dope to be able to see and reconnect with JJ once again, man. See his name up there in the Ring of Honor next to Andre Johnson and the late Bob McNair, RIP. But it's going to be good for us to have kind of this touchy-feely moment with the team, man, and be able to reconnect as fans and love on JJ one more time, man, as he comes back home to represent for the Houston Texans. And I mean, with all the things that he's done for the team, man, and the legacy that he's built here, man, it's great to have just number 99 sitting around and lingering in the annals forever, man. I mean, we'll be able to show our kids, hey, there's this guy up there, man, and this is what he represented to the team, and this is what he meant for us, man. So good memories, of course, surrounding JJ, man, and of course, best of luck to him in whatever endeavors he has moving forward. Of course, we know he's got the soccer team that he's participating in as part owner with he and his wife. And of course, he's a new father now, so a lot of things that are going on great for him right now. But who knows what's in store for him next? Maybe he's moving into the podcast space. Maybe he's moving into broadcasting and media of some sort. But be on the lookout for JJ, because definitely this guy's super talented, and somebody's going to want him to be in front of their camera for some work at some point in time. So salute to you, JJ. But keeping in the theme with that real quick, we're going to deviate. We just want to cover the question of the week. I mean, we've got Andre, we've got Bob McNair, and now we've got JJ. Who else do you think deserves to be up there in the Ring of Honor? I mean, this is definitely something that's not necessarily on the level of the Hall of Fame, but it's our Hall of Fame, right? And so who deserves to be up there? Who do you think, like, in the organization, do we have anybody that has already played that deserves to be up there? Do we have anybody that's currently playing that deserves to be up there? Maybe it's not a player. Maybe it's a personnel person or something like that. What's your opinion on it? I'm going to tell you mine real quick. We don't have anybody yet, man, to be honest with you. I mean, the Texans are, again, a very young franchise, all things, considered. We have had great talents and great players to come through here, but let's just be honest, man. Like, we have had guys the caliber of, Arian Foster, Dwayne Brown. We've even had, D-Hop here. I think that the crux of the situation as it pertains to whether or not these guys get recognized or honored in the Ring of Fame, Ring of Honor rather, is just a matter of, do they have the longevity? Obviously these guys were super talented in a tight window of space and time, but do they have the longevity? Do they have the numbers? And then, to be quite honest with you, where's their status with the team? I think that a cat like Dwayne Brown was definitely on that trajectory, and then he had the falling out with Bob McNair and the team. I think that same thing for Arian Foster. He had a super tremendous few years where he was doing, superstar status. He was playing just out of his mind. But then at the same time, how long was his career? With D Hop, same thing. He was definitely superstar status, but was his career long enough here as a representative of the Houston Texans to get that type of credit and earn those type of credentials? I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm not qualified to speak on it. I think that I would, as a fan, be able to say that my 2 cents is that I don't think that we currently have anybody on the roster that fits that narrative. I think Coach could potentially fit that narrative as one of those player-coach anomalies, depending on how the coaching side goes. I think that, we've already got Bob McNair up there. I think that, Andre Johnson was the franchise before JJ. And so who gets the keys handed over? I don't know, man. Like Matt Schaub didn't do it for long enough. So I think that in our young history, we just haven't seen enough success overall for us to be able to say we definitely have somebody that deserves to go up there. Now, over time, maybe things look a little differently. I don't know. But hopefully we have somebody on this team right now that will earn their spot to solidify their ranking to be up there in the Ring of Honor, man. So, time will tell. Let's see. But let's look on forward, man. This week we had a 2-day mini cap that was going on. Not a lot of tremendous news to come out of mini camp. Of course, everything that I'm seeing from the Texans is all rainbows and lollipops. But to be honest with you, you're only getting little bits and pieces of information anyway. The team again doesn't allow for a whole lot of recording, so there's not a lot of video content that comes out. Most of the content that gets released is actually from the team themselves, so it's really kind of sanitized as far as what you're gonna see. So you're gonna see and hear about C.J. Stroud. You're gonna see the Tank Dell videos, even some of the other wide receivers. They are showing a lot more of the defense this year. This time around. So that's pretty good. You're starting to see things like how they're describing Derek Stingley, you're starting to see a little bit of fluff, I would say, surrounding, like they had media day this week. And so media day is kind of cool because you get to see these guys in their in the jerseys and, the accessories and how they would wear it and whatever. But as far as like the overall status of how they're playing on the field during mini camp, you're not really getting a whole lot of it. But the main things that I'm gleaning from it is facts. Number one, everybody's healthy. That's what it looks like, at least. I know that, forgive me, I'm blanking out. Damian Pierce, thank you. Damian Pierce was a little sick this week, so I think he missed one day because of sickness. I think John Mechie missed a day. And then there were maybe one or two other people that just kind of missed some time because of some other situations or whatever. But overall, everybody was in attendance. We were in the voluntary portion of mini camp or training camp or whatever they want to call it at this point in time. So this was not the mandatory piece that everybody has to be there. So there wasn't a whole lot of concern. But again, coming out of the camp, everything that you're hearing on the interviews, it's all rainbows and lollipops, like I said. So thankfully, just no injuries. That's the main thing. As I'm hearing from other camps and I'm hearing from around the league that there are guys that are going down with ACLs and hurt this and hurt that, man. So thankfully, we've made it through this phase of the process with no major injuries, because we definitely don't want to see that, especially not with our draft capital. So outside of that, what we do know is that we are starting to see how the roster is starting to kind of shape up. There was a nice significant signing this week where Malik Collins got extended, 2-year deal for $23 million. I know numbers might not mean a whole lot to you guys. I know that the Texans have the cap space to allow for these guys to be on the roster with this type of addition, but he doesn't get the standard 1-year deal that a lot of these cats that are free agents have been getting from the Texans. So that's kind of good to say the least, but he also has been extended in a time where he's taken care of, and that he's going to get the starters reps. So our starters are pretty well solidified at this point in time, and really the only position that's really kind of in shambles, I don't want to say in shambles, but kind of shaky right now is actually the wide receiver room. Listen, we got great hopes for John Mechie, but there is no timeline for what he's dealing with and what he's recovering from. So there's no telling how he's going to come back and if he's going to come back and be, at 100% peak performance. So we kind of have to put him to the side when it comes to this thing. But, we have Robert Woods. Can Robert Woods be a number one? To be determined. We also have Nico Collins. Nico Collins definitely was on a great trajectory to start and how things looked last year. But can he become the number one player? Again, to be determined. Tank Dell is definitely a slot guy, but we don't know where he's going to fall in the ranking and pecking order. And then Noah Brown, same thing. We have some other guys, but they're all fighting just to make it on the roster. So from the guys that we know that pretty much we expect to be on the roster, we have Robert Woods. We have Robert Woods. We have Tank Dell. We have Mechie. We have Nico Collins, and we have Noah Brown. And those five, I would say for sure, definitely have their spots solidified. And then maybe if we can get one of these other guys that are, young rookies to step up, then we'll have a sixth. But does this qualify as a viable wide receiver room? Does this wide receiver room make anybody on the other team's defense shake a little bit or quake a little bit? Is there any fear in their eyes when it comes to facing the Houston Texans? To be determined. I know that with this scheme, with this offensive scheme that we have, it definitely gives the opportunity for wide receivers to make their place and have their roles within the offense to show and get good stats. But we'll see a lot of tight end play with Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz. I'm sorry, I'm blanking out on names today. It must be a late night. But we'll get a lot of play from the tight end position. We'll definitely get a lot of play from the running back position. You'll see you'll see Devin Singletary. You'll definitely see Damian Pierce out there, highlight reel playing, giving all their effort, as this is what they've already shown us in their reputation of what their skill set is. So those components married with CJ Stroud, let's just say this real quick. I want to address something just briefly. For those that are out there that are really under the belief that Davis Mills has a chance to take over the starter's role, you're delusional. I'm just going to say it. You're delusional. He has had ample opportunity to show his wares on the field and to show that he just doesn't have it. Is he a decent quarterback? Sure. Is he a capable quarterback? Absolutely. But is this the guy that's going to take the team to the next level? No. And if you're sitting here, you're going to try to tell or convince any Houston Texans fan that this is going to be the case, you're lying to yourself. Come on, let's just be honest, man. You're lying to yourself, because this is not the guy. He does not have the chutzpah to try to get this thing over the hill, man. And I mean, this is year 3 now. It's just not going to happen, man. So they've already invested the draft capital in trying to get CJ Stroud. The writing has been on the wall. It is here right in front of you, signed, sealed, and delivered. This is the guy. And so I don't even understand why at this point we even have to talk about this to address it. But I know on Twitter, I've definitely been into conversations with several people that are definitely saying that, we need to give Davis Mills a shot, and, he didn't get a fair shake or whatever. He definitely got a fair shake. Maybe he was with some bad coaches and all of that, but, such is life, man. Get over it. All right, let me tune back into the regular scheduled program, man. But I think with the current makeout of what we have on the roster, you pretty much have solidified what you're seeing on the team and what it looks like. I think another position that's in question. So we have both safety positions solidified. We also have Derek Stingley, who's definitely looking really, really good in the from what I'm hearing. He's looking really good out there on the field, man, and he's bulked up a little bit out there, so he's playing well. The other cornerback position is the other one that is, I guess, in question potentially. But, King is out there holding that down right now, so we'll see how that goes in the long term. But right now, what you see is what you get. So expect this version of the roster to look the same way when we go into week 1 of the preseason, barring injury, right? So let's move on from there, man. We covered the mini camp. We covered J.J. Watt and how he's going to be back and represent for the team. Man, looking forward, man, really all we have for the next 6 weeks training camp. Yep, training camp. But wait, we gotta wait 6 weeks to get there, man. That's the problem. So it's gonna be a struggle for content for the next few weeks, man. I'm gonna be out here trying to do it and represent for you guys as best as I know how to, man. But you know, pray for us that are new to this media space. Pray for us that are trying to get it in with delivering content to you guys, because I mean these guys are about to go on vacation and go chillax for a while, man. And so much respect to them for being able to do that. I know with the heat, man, they've been suffering through it. I haven't even been in it like that. But I will say this, man, as a person who's been to at least 6 training camps, if you get the opportunity to go to training camp, get yourself a ticket, get out there and go check it out, man. Bring all of your whatever you need to try to survive the heat. But if you get an opportunity to go to training camp, it's a very dope experience. If you can bring your kids with you, bring your kids, man. I mean, it's pretty cool to be able to catch up with the players after camp, after the sessions have ended for the day, and they come out and speak to you, maybe sign a few autographs or whatever. I know that I used to bring my daughter. If I can find some pictures, I'll try to see if I can post them up here. But I used to bring my daughter with me, when I used to go on a more frequent basis. And it was always real cool, the vibe that they had going on out there. The fans were out there cheering as if they were trying to get their practice in, as if they were like the Texas Aggies or something like that, cheering to try to get practice ready on what they were going to cheer. But the atmosphere is great, man. They got plenty of things set up out there for people. Water, of course, is in abundance because they don't want anybody passing out. And so I don't know how they're going to necessarily do it this year, but definitely if you get the opportunity to go check them out, man, go check them out, man. The tickets should be free. It's just a matter of access and getting your hands on them. So make the effort, take the time, cheer our boys on, man. It's definitely going to be worthwhile, man. And so listen, once again, we've covered all the bases. I've asked the questions. Put the answers in the comments, man. I want to hear back from you guys, man. I love the interactions every time I get to speak to you guys. Hey, man, everybody that's subscribed, I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you, because we are growing much faster than what I thought that we would, man, and we're getting there, man. So salute to everybody, man. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. H-Town, I'm out.